Thirsty on the east side of town? Well, head to a WNST favored King Discount Liquors on Pulaski Highway, just inside the Beltway. They have it all.
I'm Johnny Beth down at King Liquors. Come and see me for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer.
Don't forget to give the King a ring.
I think that he's also the best outside shooter of the two. So you'd rather have him flowing free to get open looks. But Vasquez, at this point, as a point guard, is too much of a risk-reward. He's too much of a risk-reward point guard, and you're going to get into trouble making those kinds of passes at key moments in the game. And that's what happened to them. And then Duke spread them out, got the offensive boards when they had to, a number of tap-outs. It wasn't that Maryland had bad offensive sequences. They just didn't get the ball enough in the last 4 or 5 minutes because Duke kept getting offensive rebounds.
Tim Brando with us as we are chatting with him about anything but the Super Bowl. We're Super Bowl now. It's only 4 o'clock. Back home anyway. It's 2 o'clock here. Case, what do you got?
Do you put any stock into Maryland had too much time off after the Carolina win? Because Duke obviously played Virginia Tech the other night, and Maryland had basically that whole week off, and there was some talk of, well, they probably should have played some. I mean, obviously they couldn't.
I actually, going in, thought it, I asked Mike Jaminski that question on the air early in the game. He thought that it would probably would have been better if they had played a game in midweek. But my thought was, the way Maryland is in their history, once you've taken on the 900-pound gorilla and beaten it on the road, bring out another gorilla.
Oh yeah, right away. Right,
because if you play a Virginia Tech, teams that tend to slow Maryland down and frustrate them, that's when they lay eggs. Because Duke likes to get up and down the floor just like Carolina. I thought that played schematically into Maryland's hands. And frankly, if they just do a better job of protecting the ball in the first 5 minutes of the second half, we may not be having this discussion. I mean, they're up by 9, and a minute and 15 into the second half, there's 6 unanswered points. Right. Their lead's down to 3, and it's game on. And now all of a sudden, Maryland is beginning to panic, and they were on their heels the rest of the game because of that.
Do they seem like a team to you that gets rattled too easily, though?
Vasquez gets rattled, yeah.
The pass was stolen.
And again, I don't mean to sound like I'm coming down on the kid. He's a great kid, charismatic, fun to be around.
And he is a really good player.
Yeah,
I mean,
and he will ultimately pay big dividends to this program. And I know that's why Gary is allowing this to happen.
In him,
yeah,
right.
I know that's why he's staying with him.
Right.
And he knows his team better than I do. But I've seen in too many key games. I mean, the Boston College game, Maryland doesn't lose that game, in my opinion, if he doesn't get the technical for pounding the support under the basket. I mean, you got to time and score and understanding what the value of the possession. Those are things that against some teams you might be able to get away with those mistakes. Not against Duke, not against Carolina, they'll make you pay. But I still believe, like I said, it's a good news, bad news story. The good news is they know they can run with the big dogs in the league. They probably feel today they should have beaten Duke, and they did beat Carolina at Carolina. So it's probably that's the good news. The bad news is they blew a 9-point lead that they didn't need to blow in the second half.
Timmy, looking around the college right now, you've got the two teams, they're kind of battling with one another for number one. Not that it means anything right now, but you got Kansas and Memphis kind of going 1-2.
Isn't it interesting to see Duke running John Calipari's offense?
Right.
I made that point last night. I mean, who would have ever thought that Mike Krzyzewski would be, his offense would be compared to John Calipari, or for that matter, that anything John Calipari's done would be compared to Mike Krzyzewski. But it's true. This D'Antoni, Phoenix Suns, sort of Memphis drive, draw, and kick offense is perfect for the players that he's got to do. Memphis is the same story. They're more athletic than Duke, okay, with Dorsey and Rose, but they don't make the same decisions necessarily that the Duke players make. So the offense is just as effective. For my money, Kansas is the best team in the country because they defend as well as score.
Right.
They're as fast getting up and down the floor as North Carolina, but they also defend the rim on their end a little better than North Carolina.